A lot of times when we talk about the best teams in Dokkan, they are filled with summonable LRs, carnival LRs, Dokkan Festival exclusive TURs, and characters that all players may not have access to the second that the game starts. Obviously, if you are new, you're going to have to summon for these characters. So you need to know what characters and teams can you make without having to summon in the game. Well, that's what this video is going to go over. I'm going to go over the 3 best free teams in Dokkan, actually 4 best free teams in Dokkan because they added a new one during the summer of 2025. So if that sounds exciting to you and you are somebody who is new, then stay tuned for this video as you are going to get a lot of information and learn a lot about what the best teams in the game are for free, aka you don't have to summon for any of the units in the game. Now, these are teams that are mainly meant to help you get started. That way you can start building your best teams and getting these summonable LRs, getting the Dragon Stones to summon for these characters and stuff like that. But again, these are going to be teams that you can make for the cost of 0 Dragon Stones. Some are going to be a little bit harder than others, but hopefully in this video I can make it very clear to you. So, first and foremost, let's go ahead and talk about the first free-to-play team in the game, which is going to be the Saiyan Saga team. This is a team that the game is essentially going to build for you with the beginner missions in the game that can be found here in the panel section. When you press this button right here, you guys can see right now for me, it's a little bit different because I'm an endgame player, but what you're going to have is what is known as the greatest warrior missions. Goku's going to pop up, and you're going to follow all the beginner steps to make this team. This is a Saiyan Saga-based team that has extremely good synergy with each other. They have good links, good categories, and they're just going to work well as a cohesive unit. Now, let's go ahead and look at the characters that are on this team and what makes it so good. So, if we go over here and filter by Saiyan Saga, I know this is in Japanese, but it's going to apply the exact same on the global version. It's going to be the second box right here. You're going to see we have Saiyan Saga characters. Your leader is going to be this version Z Goku, and he is a phenomenal startup unit for your account. He is an EZA LR with a 130% leader skill for the Saiyan Saga team. So you want to set him as your leader, and then the other characters for the team are going to be this Gohan and Piccolo, this version of Tien, this version of Krillin, this version of Yamcha, and finally, this version of Chaozu. So if you look at the team in the middle of your screen, this is going to be the first free-to-play team that you get. And again, these beginner missions are going to give you all of the resources needed to make this team what it needs to be. All of them are going to have the rainbow stars. You're going to be able to get them to their maximum level, 150 for the LR and then 120 for the UR characters. And what makes this team so good for free-to-play players and beginner players is that it has everything you need. It covers the typing wheel, which is pretty important in the game if you guys don't know. Type advantage is a very important aspect of your overall gameplay. So when you have a team like this that has one representation for at least one representation for every color right here, you've got 2 physical characters and then 1 of each, right? So AGL, Tech, Int, and STR. This is going to be the best free-to-play beginner team for you to start the game. I don't think that all of these characters individually are going to be the best in the game for the free teams, but the ease of access for specifically how to get these units, this is definitely going to be the best team for beginners in the game, and that is done by design. So this is the first team that we need to talk about. Now, we're going to move on to teams that you can farm via a little bit of an easy event, and then we'll go to the ones that are a little bit trickier. The next team I want to talk about is going to be the Ginyu Force team. Now, with the Ginyu Force team, this is going to be a very similar sort of setup, akin to what we saw with the Saiyan Saga team, right? So if we go here and we press this button, it's going to be the first in the dark purple. We go right here, and this is going to be our Ginyu Force characters. So if we press the tech one right here, this is going to be the reward drop character that you obtain when you max out all of the TUR characters. So you're not going to have this one right away, but he is going to be your main leader. Now, if we look at the free characters that we are actually going to be using, it's going to be this Ginyu, this Jace, this Goldo, this Raccoon, and this Burger. So when you have the team like this, this is how it's going to look. A 130% lead again for Ginyu, and then all of these characters right here. So what potentially you could do in the future if this ends up working out for you, there is a summonable Ginyu right here that you could use for a leader skill, and then there's also an LR Captain Ginyu that you potentially may pick up when you're summoning on Carnival or Legendary Summon banners in the future, although I do not recommend that you summon on Legendary Summon banners. This Ginyu Force LR right here is very good for the Ginyu Force team, but again, that's not important for this video, but I'm just showing you there are other options, and then potentially you have some other URs as well that you could pull, like this Raccoon and Goldo, and then this Jason Birder that you could could use in the future. So this is the team that we are going to have. And now let's go over where we can get them. So if we go over here to the event tab, which is going to be the Saiyan Saga pods, and then with the new JP interface, this is going to look a little bit different, but the effect is still going to be the same. So if we go over here to, again, with this interface, it's got this new UI, it's kind of got me jacked up a little bit. Where is the Ginyu Force event, gamers? They moved it on me. I don't know where it went. Is it in this tab now? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me. Oh yeah. So in the third tab right here, this is where you are going to do this. So you guys can see on the reward drops, this is what you need to do in order to obtain these characters. Play these events over and over again until you have the required amount. In order to get the character all the way done for the beginning, you need to have 14 copies of the character. 1, then 9, and then 4, right? So 1 for your initial copy, 9 for the super attack levels, and then 4 dupes for the hidden potential system. And what makes these units specifically different is the fact that they have their own hidden potential orbs. So if we run this stage right here, this will be the same thing for the next thing we talk about, so I don't need to repeat the process. But what you're going to be getting is the hidden potential orbs and the awakening medals and all of that fun stuff and a copy of the character just from running the event like this. So you want to play this for each typing and then max them out. And this is going to work out pretty well for you in order to get your next free-to-play team here, which is going to be the Ginyu Force. So you want to rinse and repeat this process. And then after you've maxed out all 5 of the characters, you are going to be given a copy of the Tech LR Ginyu, and then there are other missions in the game that you can do in order to obtain the dupes for that LR Ginyu as well. When it comes to where this one would rank, I would probably say this one is number 3 in terms of the best free-to-play teams, but again, with just how easy it is to farm up and how beginner-friendly it is, I'd say as a Dokkan player, you need to make sure that you are getting this done. The team I'm using in the gameplay doesn't matter. You could just use any of the teams that you have. You can use the Saiyan Saga team to build the Ginyu Force team, then you can use the Ginyu Force team to build the next team that we're going to talk about, and then you could use whatever team you want to use to unlock the next team that we're going to talk about after that, which is going to be the best free-to-play team in the game. So this is the process that you're going to be doing for the Ginyu Force. You're just going to max this out just like this and continue to run the stage over and over again until you have the required amount of stuff. Now, when it comes to these characters in specific as well, you guys probably noticed that it was not just the character that we were obtaining in that stage. There were actually multiple things that we got. We got the Dokkan Awakening Medal, and then most importantly, we also got the extra hidden potential orbs that we are going to use for the character. So you may be wondering, like, why does that matter? Like, why do these characters have special hidden potential orbs? Well, if we go here into the hidden potential section, you guys can see if we have this in here, they have a different looking tree or a system than a traditional summonable character. So let's just say, for example, we unfilter this and then we just click on the LR androids, right? So you guys can see the LR androids, that's what this one looks like. And then if we go back to the Ginyu Force setup, like I said, if we go back to that birder, you guys are going to see this one looks much different. The shape of it is way different. The way things are operating, the nodes, the numbers that you get are going to be different. These units all have their unique hidden potential orbs that you need to farm up by playing the stage. But the beauty of this is it used to not be like this, but now thankfully it is. If you just grind the stage enough to get what you need and get all the copies, it is more than likely that you're just going to be done with the orbs anyway. So this is the process you're going to do for this team. And then, like I said, once you've maxed out all of these characters and got them where they need to be, you are going to be given the LR Ginyu leader skill. And the same thing is going to apply to the third team that we are going to be talking about today. And that is going to be the free-to-play team Bardock team. And if we go over here to the free-to-play team Bardock team, thankfully, it is literally right next to the Ginyu Force on your list here in the purple. It is the second box. Then if we go in here, it's going to be extremely similar. We have an LR leader and then free-to-play options of every typing, just like this. And it's going to look something like that. And again, the process is going to literally be the exact same for these characters. It's just the units and the names of the characters are a little bit different and they operate differently. But I'm not going to make you sit through the gameplay again here. It is going to be the same exact process. And if you want to farm up skill orbs for these characters, you can do the 6th stage right there. You guys can see if you go in this event, you can play through and get everything that you need, and it's going to be extremely easy to do. Now, we've went through all of that. Let's go ahead and talk about the best free-to-play / beginner team in the game in Dokkan, and that is going to be the Rose Goku Black clone team. Now, this one I say for last because it's probably the most complex, and where I think it's actually a little bit tricky is actually finding the leader, and the best of free-to-play leader is an extremely hard unit to farm. Not a hard unit to farm, but it's just going to take you a lot of time. I will leave my guide for that in the pinned comment, so that way you guys understand where to go for this, but it's going to look something like this, and that's going to be your leader. Or what you can do is use any unit in your box that you have that potentially could be a future saga leader. And then the clone team is either going to look something like this, if we go like this with the typings, like this, or this is always where it gets a little bit silly. It could look something like this, or if you want to have a little bit of fun with it, and again, I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're a beginner and you don't really know what you're doing yet. What you could do is use the alternate art versions of the clones. These units, I know they may seem like they're the better version because they look different, but I promise you, every single aspect of those characters are exactly the same. There is no difference between the alternate arts and the regular arts. So this is going to be one of the probably the best beginner / free-to-play team in the game here. And the way to obtain them is going to be a little bit different. And what we're going to have to use in this case is actually going to be in the Portal of Memories, because this was a process done during the Global Dokkan campaign. So if you were playing during that time, hopefully you were able to take advantage of this. And if we go over here, you guys are going to see this event right here. I believe it is called like the Embodiment of Fury event. Now, with the new user interface here, you can see what's dropping. We have the regular clones, and then we have the alternate art version of the clones, as well as EX skill orbs. So what we're going to be doing is running the Super Bosses team. So you guys can see running the clones on here is going to make this extremely easy. Then if we start like this, we go over here, we are going to be all fine and dandy. Now, I have to slow this down a little bit because, again, this is a complex sort of setup here. And again, it is just, this is hard to explain to somebody that doesn't understand what's going on. I'm not trying to say that in like a condescending way. It's just, this is a little bit of a tricky run here. So what we need to remember is the pathing that we are doing. If you just go in order from top to bottom, it's going to go AGL at the top, the first one. The second one is going to be Tech. The third one is going to be Int. The fourth one is going to be STR. And the fifth one is going to be physical typing. So we'll go with AGL for the example. Now we're going to go in here, and what we want to do is have the AGL character on the odd number turn. So that way we can potentially unlock the last phase that we are going to need. So you don't have to get the fourth phase, but if you want to do the missions as quickly as possible, that is something that you want to focus on. So we have this right here, we have that right there, and then we're just going to play this as normal. And when we get to the third phase, we need to start focusing on the number of orbs that we have. That's going to be pretty important. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. So if we go over here, 30, the damage, again, doesn't really matter. What is really good about this team in specific as well is you get access to the Rose Goku Black and Zamasu sort of... Why can I talk all of a sudden? The friend lead for the Rose Goku Black and Zamasu. And this is going to help you because you're going to have a 220% leader on your squad that's just going to make life a lot easier. So when we get to this third phase is when we need to pay attention. What we're going to have is 2 potential chances to get this done. And what we're looking for are 20 orbs of the typing of the boss. Now, I know that sounds funky, but once you sort of do it once and you understand it, it's going to be very simple for you. The typing of the boss right now is AGL. So what we need are AGL orbs in that third phase to unlock a fourth phase, which is going to help us out. Now, if you don't get this, it's okay. You're still going to get drops that you need, but this is going to help you with getting the alternate art and bonus drops. That's just going to make your life a little bit easier, as well as completing the missions to make this process a little bit faster. I will put a guide in the comment section below as well to how you can farm those and all that fun stuff if you want a more in-depth breakdown. But I just want to make sure that this video is as concise as I possibly can make it for something as daunting as farming something like this. But for the sake of getting like free-to-play teams done and stuff like that, this is pretty important because we just want to go over this and make sure that you guys have as much information as possible in the shortest amount of time. I know it seems like I'm a yapper, but I'm trying to make sure that we get through this in a timely manner. The video doesn't need to be 45 minutes, but I think 15 minutes is fair, right? Especially for we're covering 4 teams here, how to farm them and all that fun stuff. I think 15 minutes is a pretty fair time for video, but you guys let me know. Do these videos need to be shorter within reason, obviously? YouTube just doesn't like when you upload 4-minute videos, right? It is what it is. So if we go over here, again, this process is going to be super, this is going to be the trickiest farm of the bunch, but you are going to be rewarded with the best free-to-play / beginner team in Dokkan. This is far and away, especially if you are somebody who hasn't done this, if you have the LR Rose Goku Black and Zamasu character, and then you also give yourself the clones here, that event, or this team can unironically clear, 90% of the difficult content in the game, and you're going to see that pretty commonly. So those are the 4 best free to play teams in the game right now / beginner teams. Make sure that you guys get these done. It is not difficult to do. Just a little bit time consuming, but again, not too bad whatsoever. So let me know down below what your favorite sort of team in the game is. Do you enjoy the the aspect of the Saiyan Saga team? Do you like the clone team? All of those different things and stuff like that. So what we have to do before we go, as I've stated in every single video, we are doing member shoutouts. YouTube Studio is being a little bit weird with pulling up my members, but hopefully we can do that if we go right here. So again, appreciate you guys. Let's see here. It's being difficult. I don't know why. But again, shouts outs to all of my members on the YouTube side of things. Sorry, the names are going to be a little tricky here if they don't want to pop up for us. Here we go. Nubius, our boy Nubius, thank you. Malcolm, Driftix, Devontae Little Jr., Sean C., Blue Sun, Preston Kitty, Tekka, Chunkster, Soldier 91, Not Dem 1. That's he changed his name. I'm not sure which the original name on that one was. Wesley, Van, Brian V, and Radokun. So thank you to all my members down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.